Today, I've got a very special unboxing for you. This is AudioControl's new Hyperion platform, the very first product available, the APR-16, which is a 16-channel analog processor. This forms part of their new immersive sound range from Hyperion, and there are 3 products that will begin in this line. This is the first of them, the APR-16, again just released. This is not available anywhere as yet. This will be followed up by the DPR-16, which is a digital version, 16 channels also, and then an RCV11, which is a 16-channel AV receiver with 11 channels active. So I'm going to open this one up and show you what's in the box. These will be available extremely soon. We have a few of them here that are almost ready to go out. And they've got some really neat features, as you can see printed along the bottom of the box here. A few of them being that they have Dirac Art, they have ISF, they also have the HAA Alliance audio calibration, they have Dante, and they also do DTS and Dolby Atmos sort of sound formats that you'd expect. So let me give you a look at what's in the box. So this amplifier is not packaged in a way that you'd probably typically expect, in that it's certainly done to a luxury extent. So you've got photos of the back of the unit here, and as you come around the side, you've got handles. You can actually get your hand in, which is very clever. You've got another photo of the back on this side, again another handle. Got a photo on the top here of what the product looks like, and the way it opens is very, very neat. So Hyperion branding on the inside of the carton. You've got a Hyperion branded microphone for calibration in there. You've of course got your accessories box in here, which I'll just grab. And you've got the remote control as well, which is all alloy. Very neat indeed. Those fit into this beautifully custom cut dense foam packaging. And then there's the product. Not sure how easily you'll see that on camera, but it's got Hyperion branding in the packaging there. The dense foam is certainly a nice way of doing things, better than sort of typically what you'd expect on the market. So if I open up this accessories packet, let's see what we got in there. Okay, so there's a few different cards. This one's talking about Dirac and the different versions of calibration software. This is the manual with a QR code. And then in the foam, you've got a USB cable in there. You've got a power lead, in our case Australian. You've got a pair of rack ears, so those are solid rack ears for this unit. So this foam just slips off the front of the amplifier, like so. And they've really actually thought about things, which is so nice to see. So you've got this sort of cloth, heavy cloth dust cover, like a velvet, and they've even put hand grips in the sides so that you can pick it up. I won't be able to do that with one hand, but yeah, very, very neat. So I can just grab that, flip it sideways, and you'll see the dust cover has just got a drawstring at the base, which I can undo. Look at that, maybe you can do it one-handed. I haven't actually taken this out of the box yet, so that's the product there. Let me grab that out and just put it on top of the box. So here's the front of the unit. It's still got the sticker on, so it's looking a little bit cloudy, but when it's taken off, it's all nice and shiny. You've got the weighted volume pot here on the front. You've got a on-off power cycle here, and this whole section in the center is a color touchscreen that lets you run the interface for the product. Of course, it's also got a very advanced web GUI. You've got your cooling on the top, which of course has my handprints from taking it out of the carton. And then we come around to the back, which is sort of where the action happens. So here is all of the connectors. And let me just tilt that so that the light's not on the road. Some of the things that make this rather special are sort of immediately obvious. Other things are not so much so. So of the things that probably stand out the most, some I would raise, is industry-leading HDMI, 48 gigabits per second on all ports. It also has advanced EDID and HDCP management. So problems that you have sort of been used to with HDMI switching in the past are a thing of the past with Hyperion. That's certainly something that's well worth noting. The other things that are noteworthy is it has ISF certification, and it also surpasses all of the 21 industry benchmarks for CDR-RP22 compliance. So you know that you're sort of in front of all of the up-to-date technologies with this product. It has, of course, got DIRAC, the full suite, so right up to ART as part of it. That's actually works with the microphone that comes in the box. It is HAA certified, so the Home Acoustics Alliance. There's a bit more information on that, probably to be digested in a separate video. The DACs in this unit are industry leading as well. So this uses the ESS Hyperstream 4, the Sabre 9039 Q2M DACs, which give it 130 dB of dynamic range. And of course, over here, you've got your network switch with Dante and APR-16. So this unit has the ability to receive and transmit Dante streams of audio. Not designed to be its primary focus, obviously, with the analog outputs on this model, but the digital version, which will be the APR-16 that's coming soon, is of course entirely focused on that way of doing things. Of course, you've also still got analog inputs, which is nice to have if you need it. You've also up here got IR and triggers for 12 volt, and of course all your analog and digital inputs as well. So that is a pretty sort of broad overview of how this product works, what it can do, and some of the sort of industry leading specs it's got on it. The next step will be for us to get one of these wired in, show you some pictures of how the front works. I might try and do that on a screen record because I can do it on a web GUI platform. And yeah, we'll take it from there. So now we're on the web GUI for the Hyperion APR-16, as you can see here. This is the home screen, and I'll just step you through a couple of the screens that you can access here and show you how they all work. So the main screen just gives you your basics: power, volume. You've got the ability to change the numbers here. You've got a muting function. It also shows you which input is currently running. You can label these, so you can see I've labeled the Apple TV, the Kaleidoscope, and the Blu-ray that we've got on the system at the moment. I've hidden the other inputs. And you've also got the audio mode here. So this is where you can choose if you want it to run native or if you want to force it into other modes from Dolby and DTS. Moving over to the System tab, you will see on here that immediately you get this pop-up that shows you the key specs off the main screen, which is super handy because it means you can switch these at any point on any of the other tabs. But this screen will show you your video information here, your audio information here, sampling rate, bit depth, and then you've got more in-depth, I suppose, options for volume, max and on volumes. You've also got the ability to switch on and off the VU meters, which are displayed on the front of the device. You can turn up and down the brightness and also choose screensavers. So this device does allow you to cycle through photos or pictures of your room or dealer logos, things like that. Below that, you've got the ability to set the date and time. We've got it set on automatic. And then further down here, you've got the information about all the different components of the firmware. So as you'll see in here, you've got the Atlas controller, MCU, FPGA, the DSPs 1 and 2, and then in the Hyperion operating system, you've got display, kernel, DIRAC, and bootloader. If you hit this button here, it goes through a process of updating all of the different firmwares, or you can individually do one piece or another, and you can also force reinstall the whole lot. At the moment, you can see we're also on the beta channel here, because we've been using this unit in our showroom for a little while, but you've also got the ability to switch to stable production releases or nightly builds, which are even more frequent than the beta updates. Down here, you've got the ability to save your settings and export them, and you can also do a support snapshot. This is super convenient. It lets you export a sectional analysis of all of the things that the unit's been doing based on a specific time frame and send that over to AudioControl. Super neat for
troubleshooting, I suppose. Coming back over to here and scrolling down, this just shows you about all the different system components, and you've got the ability to reboot any one of them. So you can do all of these features whilst the system is running. You've also got the ability to toggle all of the HDMI inputs and outputs for the HPD controls here. And then there's even more information that allows you to adjust CEC control, other bits and pieces. If we then jump across into input settings, give that a second to boot across, you'll see here you've got all the different options. The ones we've got labeled, the other ones are hidden because we're not using them. It just makes it a little bit cleaner, especially when you're viewing that on a remote system for control, I mean. And then here you've got the all the options. So you can click to configure all of the inputs, or you can, so if I jump into one of these, it's really, really in depth. It's probably more advanced than you would expect, but hot plug detection, you've got all the EDID controls. So this is courtesy of AV Pro section of the AudioControl company, but as you can see as we scroll through here, you've got immense ability to customize what you're doing with all of the inputs and outputs. If you go into here or through audio settings for the inputs, advanced, and you've got even more stuff here in engineering, HDCP controls. It's really very, very advanced. I mean, it requires a whole extra video just to explain in detail all of these components and what they can do. But as just a brief overview, I'll jump through the rest of these. So here you've got your speaker arrangements. So they're your sort of typical, in our case, the room's a 7.1.4 with extra subs. Here you've got your DIRAC controls. At the moment we've got this switched off, but you can obviously switch that on. And if you want to jump into settings for your outputs, here you've got the ability to switch between full range and limited, and you can set gains, distances, high pass filter, low pass filter, and all of that sort of jazz. Those filters, or options I should say, are available when the DIRAC is off. If you switch DIRAC on, you're going to lose access to these controls because DIRAC will take over. Jumping over to the EQ screen, and you'll see here again, you've got a currently 11 band PEQ. Sorry, I should correct that. It's a 12 band. They've just got one down the bottom there. And here you've got the ability to set all of the parametric EQ levels and adjust the bands. Jumping into network, this will give you, of course, the network functionality. So in this instance, you've got all the details here. And on the last screen, the console. So this is a really, really neat feature that you won't find on almost anything else I'm aware of. But here in the MCU, it will show you what the unit is doing in real time. So if you walk over to the machine in the other room and you hit the volume command, it will show you on the screen what's happening as it's happening. This is super, super neat if you're trying to find issues or resolve problems. And I think it's just a great feature that they've built into these machines. You've also got the DSP console sitting there ready to go. So all in all, that's a really brief rundown of what you can do with the web GUI on these machines.